then that's their loss. But if you're true to who you are and you let your light shine, that is the true beauty that lies within your soul. And never be ashamed to act out what is innately inside of yourself. So thank you for that, Adasia. So we got two poets left, but as you guys know, I don't really do poetry. I like to do this thing called knowledgery. You know what I'm saying? And what I like to do is to share information that's going to wake up my people, make them think a little bit differently. And I always say, don't believe me. Don't believe a word I say, but try to prove me wrong. Do your own research. Try to find out more information and see exactly what it is that you can take away from this topic of conversation. And one thing that I figured, I found a pretty good article, so I took some interesting points out of it that I feel I can share with you guys. It's to open up our minds a bit, and it's about, let's see, let me get the file up real quick. It's about the lies we are told about cancer. See, I always find it strange that I'm a cancer on the actual planetary system scale, but at the same time, when you understand what cancer is, it's like, why should I call myself a cancer? But I'm not going to go into that, just to wake us up and make us hear some things. So, again, disclaimer, who knows I'm telling the truth? I'm not saying believe myself, but I say take the time to find out for yourself. And I promise you, knowledge will lead to your awakening to make you make smarter choices and decisions. So lie number one, I'm reading about 5 facts, okay? It says, cancer is caused by spontaneous bad luck and not cause and effect. That is a lie. This is the President's Council for Cancer that says only 10% of cancer is genetic. 90% of cancer is environmental, meaning by the food that I am consuming, you know, the thoughts I have within my own mental consciousness, because if I'm always angry and aggravated, I'm producing negative chemicals that are constantly destroying my body internally, and the pain I have within my heart, you know, so realizing that from the toxic chemicals from my body products, from the food that I am consuming, the pollution in the air, these all play into part of me gaining cancer. So I would say, do what you can that's in your control. The best method is prevention. So doing everything and educating yourself, realizing what is inside of my lotion, what is in my toothpaste, what is inside that McDonald's burger, why is it so cheap to get 20 chicken nuggets for only about $4? You know, it makes you start to question things a little bit. So that's all I'm saying, okay? Lie number 2, and don't take it personal. I love you guys. That's why I'm sharing this information with you guys, because when you know better, you're supposed to do better. And that's what we're here for right now. So, number 2, there is no cure for cancer. Let's see. I believe, honestly, when you hear a lot of different stories from people and their experiences, they've changed their diet. They changed their mental health. They went to a more plant-based, organic, eliminated the meat, the processed foods, and significant changes where they had people who were in stage 3 and stage 4. That's the point of no return. And they have transcended that lie. So recognizing that, my brother's a doctor, by the way, just in case you guys want to know too. He is a doctor. He's a surgeon actually in Seattle in his last year of his residency. And we have great discussions on the phone talking about the way that they're practiced and taught and educated. And he tells me all the time, he's probably, out of his 3 years of med school and residency, only received about 3 hours of health and nutrition as a doctor. So recognizing, seeing how they only know so much. And they're a profession at what they're told, how to administer medication, how to find ways to help subdue problems ready as develop inside your body, but they're not trained and educated to really help you prevent these things. And I'm not trying to knock him, he's an excellent, intelligent individual, but just things that we need to be mindful of, okay? So, next up, number 3, none of the chemicals used in my personal care products can cause cancer. If you got anything with a name brand Johnson & Johnson, please look into that. There was a lady who got a lawsuit. She just sued them for using their baby powder for over 30 years, and it caused her a very rare cancer. And she found out it was from a chemical inside the product in the baby powder. You know, and this is recent more so. When you find out these other popular name brands, if you like the what's that called, the Vaseline lotions, if you like the Nivea, you like the Bed Bath & Beyond products, I'm telling you, look into what you're putting in your body. The food dyes, the scents, the chemicals, they're doing more than just damage and making you smell good on the outside. They're killing you on the inside. So I'm just saying to educate yourself and really find out. And I can go into deeper, but do the research. We live in the information age. You can say, hey, Google, what's inside Bath & Body Works products? Then find an ingredient. Do your homework and be like, wow, do I really want to put this on my body? Is this really worth smelling good, all these perfumes? So that's number 3. Number 4. Pesticides and herbicides don't cause cancer. Now this is a big one because the CDC and the FDA is trying to tell you that there's nothing wrong with herbicides and pesticides, but they're trying to find out that they're neurotoxins. So pretty much they're meant to kill the insects that eat the plants. So if that's destroying the insect, even though it's a minute level, if we're consuming massive amounts of these pesticides and herbicides, do you not think it's going to do any damaging effects to yourself? Think about that for a second, because I'm so upset. I live with my parents now because I just moved out. Me and my fiance saving up for a wedding and trying to get married, and they had these landscapes come out, and I just put a sign down. I'm looking at, like, what's the sign they're putting down? And it says, please, children, children, please don't play on this area. This is sprayed with toxins, herbicides, and pesticides. And I was like, I have to walk barefoot in my backyard. But now I can't do that no more because it is sprayed with pesticides. And a lot of public parks, a lot of schools, school lawns are all sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, which can have damaging long-term effects. So things that when we speak up about as a community, we can be like, there's other alternatives. We don't have to take the cheap route, And now they're finding out a lot of foods have these herbicides, like Quaker Oats oatmeal. They had special K bars that they were doing some lab tests. These are individual studies finding these glyphosates and pesticides inside the actual food that we are consuming, which is damaging our kidney, our livers, and what happens? Boom. Big pharma gets a nice big paycheck, And I'm not knocking medicine. I'm thinking it's beautiful, but I'm all about prevention and doing the things that we can keep in our control. If it comes to it, you need to get that chemotherapy, even though there are other alternatives, let it happen. If you need that prescription medication, take it. But let's try to find out how we can get to a point where we can avoid that from taking place, okay? So, disclaimer, I'm not knocking personal medication. So, big Uncle Sam, please don't come knocking at my door, okay? Number 6, drug companies want to find a cure for cancer.
They don't.
Who? No, I mean, you're a wise man. I mean, how much money does chemotherapy cost? How much money does? Yeah, man. So you got to realize that what is the interest? It is a capitalist society. It's about making $1. We don't want you dead. We want you sick enough to live. We give you a pill to cure your liver. It's going to damage your kidney. That kidney's going to stop your blood flow. Now you're on dialysis. You got 10 years to live, and it's like, bam. Who gets paid? Wall Street, big bankers, big pharma. It's just like, who is suffering the most? The people who are unaware. But how can we change that? By raising our awareness, becoming more educated, and taking the time to look into these things, okay? A couple more facts. I'm going to be out of your way. Just trying to, I feel the love in the room, though. I get a couple of head nods, so it makes me people think I'm too crazy right now. But, number 7, okay? Anybody heard of the Susan Komen Foundation?
Yeah, I heard it.
You probably see them on a lot of products like the pink ribbon for cure, blah, blah, blah. So, the Komen for Cure raises money to eliminate cancer. Do you believe that?
No.
Okay, yeah, because this is probably one of the cancer cartels, one of their biggest arms in the industry. So the truth is, the corrupt, dishonest Komen Group is the front for the cancer industry. It rakes in money from donation and uses most of it to run mammography clinics in poor, innocent neighborhoods where people can be diagnosed with cancer and turn around over for more chemotherapy treatments and more profits. And the race for the cure, if you do your research and you look at their financial reports, see how much money actually goes toward research for cancer, or how much money goes towards administrative costs and advertising. So they're just using their money as a way to, because in the next fact talks about mammograms, and this is one fact that a lot of us aren't aware of. By actually getting mammograms, the radiation also can induce breast cancer in females. And I'm actually on the board of a healthcare organization, and it kind of I'm at a in-between place, because when you know these things, how do I speak out about it? You know what I'm saying? How do I say it in a friendly way that's not going to make people raise their eyebrows? But when you actually, this is scientifically proven. This is not someone's opinions or someone is speaking their mind. It just shows that the radiation could cause females to get breast cancer. They could come back in 3 months, come back in 6 months. And what happens? Boom, you get in 3, 4 mammograms, and what happens? Now all of a sudden something's triggered from the chemicals in your body from the radiation, and that's causing more issues. So think about these things to look into. I'm not here to put no one down or to put fear in your hearts, but just to raise your awareness. All right. Last fact: there is no link between my diet and cancer. There is no link between my diet and cancer. Yet again, there is no link between my negative thoughts and cancer. There's no link between the pain in my heart and suffering and cancer. That is all false. When you realize that if I'm not eating health, that's the foundation right there. If I'm just filling my body with toxic foods, processed foods, GMO food, that's messing with my genetics. Not just yours, that's making your children's genetics weaker too if you do plant the seed. Talk about, not if I can eat healthy, but if I'm constantly angry, full of anxiety, and messed up inside of here, that is producing chemicals in my body that is destroying me internally. So doing that long term, that puts it in my soul. So I'm constantly on that state of agitation, constantly in that fight or flight, and that's going to put me in a state where cancer is just waiting to brew. So it's a whole mind-body-soul connection, folks. Realizing that something like, oh, well, he ate organic food his whole life, he still got cancer, but he was angry every single day. You know what I'm saying? He was the most peaceful person in the world, but you see him at McDonald's every other week. So it's just like realizing that you have to look at the complete aspect of yourself to begin to make these smarter choices, because these are things that we can control more than they tell us to. And if we put the power inside their hands, we're going to keep believing. And look at their history. They've never been about the people. And I'm not saying they're doing it intentionally, but if they're not consciously aware about the ramifications of their actions, then who's the one that's going to hurt? The people around the room. So thank you for that, man. I wasn't trying to gloom. Yes, sir.
Can I add
add one more fact?
Oh yeah, add another fact.
So you got me going on this knowledge tree. What is it?
Knowledge tree, man.
Knowledge tree.
Yeah, see the flow, just words.
I just want to share again. Look into it.